Hello and welcome. This is Borno Restoration. I am Jessie Tafida. On today's episode of the program, we will take you through the ongoing efforts by Governor Babagana Zulum towards bringing succor to survivors of the 13-year Boko Haram insurgency in the state. First, let's bring you the latest on Borno Today. 358.7 billion naira is the approved budget of Borno State for the year 2024. Security, education, healthcare, small and medium-scale businesses, agriculture, particularly irrigation, resettlement of displaced people are its main areas of focus. At this press briefing, the Commissioner for Budget and Planning, Mustafa Malumbe, insists that permissions from authorized budgetary provisions and a certificate of no objection from the Bureau of Public Procurement must accompany all requests for funding from government ministries and agencies.
We are still operating with what we approved for 2024 budget, and we hope that it will also be catered for. We are all aware, the head of service and other principal officers here, be aware that there is rigorous human capacity development within the state, especially in the civil service.
He disclosed that several accounting officials disregard the provisions of the Act, which will no longer be tolerated.
Accounting officers and directors of finance and accounts, that misappropriation of government funds will not be condoned, and as such, all accounting officers and directors of finance and accounts of all MDAs are strongly advised to adhere and operate strictly in accordance with the laid down rules and regulation. Failure to adhere to so will result to the expenditure authorization form not being signed.
In order to alleviate the difficulty encountered by residents, particularly the displaced persons, the Commissioner says the budget projection for 2024 will be reassessed in light of the current economic realities. In order to meet with objectives of the state government's 25-year development plan, it is recommended that government departments and agencies be more creative and proactive in their efforts to generate revenues. A report by the United Nations Children's Fund reveals that about 1.3 million children are in dire need of quality health care and education in the northeast region alone due to Boko Haram insurgency. UNICEF and government have continued to work in order to change the narrative. Today, UNICEF is handing over these medical equipment of about 438.4 million naira to the Borno state government.
This particular intervention is also supportive of all the other health and nutrition services that we've been providing. We want to make sure that these supplies will support all the health clinics that are across Borno state. We know that the conflict over the past 14 years have really displaced people, but also very sadly have not provided the essential quality health care services in the communities. So together with the government of Borno, we have really gone very, very strongly ahead to ensure that women's and children's right to survival and to also fulfill their potential has much increased.
The state government appreciates the gesture. This, it believes, will improve healthcare delivery and strengthen capacity of its primary healthcare facilities.
Borno State, unfortunately, as one of the highest states in Nigeria, with indices of maternal mortality and neonatal mortality being the highest, which is something that UNICEF stands very strongly for in order to change it so that every child is accepted, every child has got the best of care, every woman who is pregnant will have a safe delivery. And in order to achieve this, the government of Babagana Zulum, MNI, has made free healthcare services in terms of maternal care to the people of Borno State.
UNICEF also disclosed that it will soon hand over a newly built primary healthcare center and supplies worth 21 million naira. The Borno State Governor, Babagana Zulum, has continued to distribute relief items of cash, food and non-food items to returnees of liberated communities to help them pick the pieces of their lives. This gesture, the governor says, will continue until the end of his tenure. Take a listen. Peace is gradually returning to Borno State, with most liberated communities now occupied by returnees who are starting to pick the pieces of their lives. Governor Babagana Zulum, since assumption into office as the executive governor of Borno State, has continued to identify and respond to urgent needs of survivors of the insurgency. His greatest commitment is to restore peace and return all internally displaced persons to their ancestral homes through his reconstruction, rehabilitation, and resettlement campaign. Today is another day for Professor Babagana Zulum to carry out humanitarian interventions to returnees. Bama Local Council was his first port of call. Returnees here are overwhelmed to see the governor as help comes their way amidst economic hardship. 70,000 households will benefit from this gesture of food, non-food items, and cash.
In continuation of our ongoing efforts in order to provide succor to the less privileged people, we are here in Bama town of Bama local government area of Borno State. We are aware of the rising cost of food items, and we believe Bama is one of the worst affected local government area by Boko Haram insurgency. In this particular town, local government, about 50,000 people were killed by Boko Haram. And access to the agricultural lands is limited to some certain extent. So we are here to provide food and non-food items to the vulnerable population of this local government area in order to curtail the menace of food shortages in the state. As you are aware, this is not only the local government area that we have been distributing food items. We have started providing palliatives to the people of Borno State since the year 2015 to date, when I took over from our predecessor. So for us, this is not the very beginning, it's a continuation exercise. But as a result of the recent hike in food prices and then recent drought, a few months ago, I announced distribution of palliatives to about 300,000 people. Later on, we increased the figure by about 200,000. So today, we are here to witness distribution of food items in Bama town or Bama local government areas of Borno State in order to cushion the effect of the hardship. We shall invite stakeholders. Who are the stakeholders? The dealers. Those that are selling rice, those that are selling maize, and all other food items. We shall have meeting with them. In addition to this one, the cement sellers, building material sellers, food and non-food items, especially essential items. We shall have a stakeholders meeting, inshallah, on Wednesday, and then we shall discuss on the subject matter, which is the increasing cost of food items. And then what alternatives will the government of Borno State, what alternatives the government of Borno State will take in order to cushion the effect of the food shortages. One, we must look at indiscriminate purchase of food items by vendors. We shall stop it. This is something that we must look into it. People are coming to buy the food items and then hoarding the food items. So this has to be stopped. This is one. And then we have many communities. We have some people that are going to villages, especially to Fulka, to Juka and other areas, in order to buy the food items in large quantities. Their main objective is not to consume the food items, or it's not to make profit. Their main objective is to see how they will divert huge amount of the quantum of the food items so that they will sell it at an exorbitant price. So government will do everything possible to curtail this one. I will also have a meeting with the traditional rulers to see what measures can we take. Secondly, Metropolitan and Jere local government and its environment. It's one of the areas that are facing acute food shortages. Therefore, I will also constitute a very strong committee. This time around, I will ensure that reasonable degree of prudence is achieved. I want to identify a reasonable quantum of people within Metropolitan and its environs so that we'll provide food and non-food items for them in the month of Ramadan. Inshallah. While all other local government areas like Ngala, we have provided food items for them. Dikwa, we have provided. Monguno, we have provided food items to them. We are yet to go to Gajiram, local government, Gajigana, Tungushe and others.
This is part of his routine, and you could see that since yesterday the distribution exercise has been going on. Yesterday he distributed wrappers and cash grant to women, and today food items to men, and also he has attended to different groups at different levels based on their needs. And I think with the economic hardship, this intervention is timely, because people are actually suffering, and they need this intervention, and you could see that the Ramadan is fast approaching, and he has promised also yesterday while he was addressing that this is not for the Ramadan, but he is going to be here as part of his routine exercise to give them more food items and other relief materials before the Ramadan period.
Each of the 25,000 male heads of household received 25 kg bag of rice and maize, while 45,000 women received 5,000 naira cash and a wrapper each. The beneficiaries are overwhelmed with the gesture. She says, "I'm sincerely happy with this gesture by our good governor. The economy situation continues to bite harder, but we are now seeing efforts made by the governor to alleviate our sufferings. I pray God to bless him." This one says, "This is a huge support to us by the governor. It will surely assist me and my family in the coming months." The governor supervised the distribution to ensure there were no sharp practices. From Bama, the governor proceeded to Banki, a commercial town, shares a border with Cameroon Republic. He is here to commission new houses and a market for returnees.
Banki International Market is one of the most important markets in the state, as it is a commercial hub for people in the far north region of Cameroon and the Republic of Chad. To this effect, we have so far rehabilitated 148 government-owned shops with the support of the Regional Stabilization Facility. Furthermore, Borno State government has constructed 740 privately owned shops here in this market and constructed 22 blocks of 440 market stalls for petty traders, bringing the total number of markets that were newly constructed to about 1,000. The total number of shops rehabilitated to about 200. All this effort is centered towards the restoration of livelihood in conflict-affected communities in Borno State and far north region of Cameroon. My appeal, Your Excellency, is that we continue to promote transborder trade by removing all hindrances that will impede free movements of goods and services. The idea of establishing the Banki Free Trade Zone was mooted during the administration of our predecessor, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. But because of the insurgency, the objectives has not been met. And therefore, inshallah, we shall partner with the Federal Republic of Nigeria to see how the Banki Intercontinental Free Trade Zone will be established. Furthermore, we will be commissioning the teachers' quarters, which is 5 blocks of 10-2 bedroom houses for teachers and government-led secondary school banking, which is almost completed and will be inspected shortly. Let me also bring to the kind notice of my colleague, the governor of Cameroon, Arnold Cameroon, that Borno State government is willing to give some slots to indigenous of Cameroon that are willing to study in Nigeria, especially in our secondary schools, who are willing to study English, mathematics, and other Nigerian courses. Furthermore, we shall also provide some slots for them to study some courses in our state university.
The state government also promised to strengthen bilateral ties with Cameroon Republic to improve transport trade.
I implore Your Excellency to join me in promoting transborder trade by eliminating any barriers that hinders the free flow of goods and services. Today, let us revive the vibrant commercial activity that once characterized these communities. Today marks a significant milestone as we lay the foundation for the banking international capital market. Your Excellency, the reopening of this market is a crucial endeavor that demands the cooperation of both our governments. It is the goal of my administration to reconstruct and reopen the banking international capital market, inshallah, in the next 90 days. With the hope that the unrestricted movement of livestock, as seen in the past, will be reinstated. Additionally, I also propose that we explore avenues for fostering an international student exchange program, which has historically enriched our cultural diversity. As we extend our sincerest appreciation to Your Excellency, the esteemed members of your entourage and distinguished guests for honoring us with your presence on this auspicious occasion. We honestly hope that our proposals and requests will receive the utmost attention and consideration. And let me use this opportunity to also inform you that Borno State government, and indeed that of the federal government, will soon pay a visit, reciprocal visit to Marwa and indeed Yaoundé, inshallah, in order to promote all the activities that we discussed this afternoon before the official commissioning of the international cattle market, with a view to removing all the encumbrances that may happen after the opening of the market.
We really appreciate what you are saying here in the field of reconstruction, in the domain of reconstruction. We visited first of all, we are in the market, we have seen we noticed that a lot has been done. The occasion, we are now in the framework of the reconstruction because the security situation is back to normalcy. Therefore, has been done by the head of state, the co-head of state, and the government and all population, including the general committee. But as I said earlier, challenge can remain because we face difficulty of work around for at least 10 or 10 years. What have been destructive in the security, hospital, market, and so forth. So people have been killed. We have IDPs and refugees. So the damage is we have big damage. So we hear what has been said by the government. 5 years ago, was not possible. No shop. That to say that people are back to their area and carry out their daily business. That's due to the effort that we done by the governor and the federal government.
And that's our package on this episode of Borno Restoration. Thanks for being part of it. I'm Jessie Tafida. See you next time. Bye-bye.